acting as an assistant professor cum junior scientist in Department of Agronomy at Dr. Kalam Agriculture College, Kishanganj. The today's topic for lecture is livestock for enhancing the farmer's income under integrated farming system. In this, first of all, we have to know about what is integrated farming system and how it is different from mixed farming or traditional farming system. In traditional farming system is a set of agricultural activities which are being organized, where resource management strategy is taken more important to achieve the economics and sustain productivity to meet diverse requirements of the household while preserving the resource base as well as sustain high environment quality. In this, there are several enterprises and the farming system itself tell that the end product or waste of one enterprise is used as input for what is the need of IFS. Nowadays, India's population is crossing over 1.2 billion, and we have obtained the food security, but till date we are not gaining about nutritional security as well as uh, the modernization of Indian villages. It is also a very big problem. In this, feed this much amount of population, we have to increase the total productivity per unit area, per unit time. Therefore, the integrated farming system is much more important. In this, there are various definitions, but we should go beyond that. Uh, in this, our traditional farming system is completely based on risk and uncertainty as well as subsistence, that is the uh, production value, or you can say the economics, whatever they are gaining is as much is in the limited quantity that they can sustain their livelihood for a whole year. But when we ask about IFS, here farm productivity is enhanced, environmental degradation is reduced, as well as economic sustainability is maintained. Thus, there is the difference between farming system and mixed farming. This you can just go through the slide, and you can see that farming system is profit oriented while mixed farming is subsistence based. These are the advantages of farming system in this: productivity, profitability, sustainability, balanced food, clean environment, recycling of resources, income round the year, adoption of new technologies, and solving energy crisis, fuel and fodder crisis. Deforestation, we have also to avoid the deforestation, employment generation, in increment in employment generation and others. These are the opportunities for agriculture as well as livestock oriented industry and standard of living of the farmers. These are the components of the farming system where you can see that except few components like mushroom, uh, crop, mushroom, and biogas agroforestry, all components are related to livestock. And thus, we can say that what do you mean by livestock? It is completely domesticated animals which are being raised for agricultural settings, such as to produce meat, egg, milk, fur, leather, and wool, as well as for draught purposes in agriculture sector. The breeding and maintenance as well as slaughter of these livestock is known as animal husbandry, which is a modern concept of or modern component of agriculture. Thus, livestock-based integrated farming system will provide an opportunity for increasing the economic yield per unit area per unit time to a small and marginal farmers. Here, land requirement is much less than that of the crop-based farming system models. Okay? Intensive agriculture increases the yield of various commercial outputs, but it also leads to negative impact on the animal welfare as well as environment and public health. Here we can say that when we are opting for only livestock, not integrating it with other enterprises, then 10 to 12% of the global and anthropogenic greenhouse gas emission livestock are contributing to that much amount in 2005 as well as 2010. This is the data of 2005 and 10. But what about the data of 2020, 40, and 50 onwards? What about our sustainable future? It simply means that the byproduct of the livestock, they are creating a havoc as cattle produces 570 million cubic meters of methane per day, which accounts for 35 to 40% of overall methane emission of the planet. While livestock is also responsible for 65% of the human-related emissions of powerful and long-lived greenhouse gas like nitrous oxide. Thus, we have to mitigate this environmental impact through animal husbandry process, which now we are going to discuss. One of the most important system is livestock crop production system. It is a form of mixed production system which utilizes crop and livestock in a way that they can complement one another through space and time. The backbone of Indian agriculture's integrated system is herd of the ruminants, which graze a pasture to build up the soil, as well as they provide sufficient organic matter to build up the soil health. They can also the animals can also be used for the farm operations as well as transport. While in case of the crop enterprise, the residue of crops provide a good light supplementary feed for the productive animals. Simply means that the animal component often raised on agriculture waste product while the animal is being used to cultivate the land as well as provide the manure to be used as fertilizer and fuel. In spite of that, animals are also used for drought purpose. About Alam, it has also uh, noticed that about 12 tons of manure availability from a pair of drought cattle can provide one ton of manure can provide 8 kg nitrogen, 4 kg phosphorus, and 16 kg of potassium. Thus, we can say that animal can transform the plant energy into useful work. They can be used for plowing, transport, as well as in activities such as milling, logging, road construction, market, and water lifting for irrigation, etc. In spite of that, they are the excreta of the animals can be used for improving the nutrient cycling, including nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and organic matter, which are the most important maintaining the soil structure and fertility, which ultimately results in soil health. In spite of that, the excreta of the animals can be used for production of biogas and energy for household use. For example, cooking and lighting, or for rural industries like power mills, water pumps, etc. Adding, and they also can add in spite of providing the energy, they are also can add fertilizer to the crop enterprise. Next one is that livestock crop and backyard poultry system. In this backyard livestock, which are sheep, pig, goat, poultry, etc., they can be used, they can be reared on undigested grains in the dungs as well as threshing waste from the fields. Whereas the poultry birds can predate the insect pest and also control the crop diseases. In one of the system is integrated farming system. Here, the two or more agri-related farming activities are integrated, and the fish is one of the major community in this system. In this, it is a diversified and coordinated way of farming, which in the farm with fish as the main product, and the basic principle is utilization of synergistic effect of interrelated farm activities and conservation, including full utilization of the farm waste. Based on the concept that there is no waste, waste is only a misplaced resource which can become a valuable material for the another product. What is the benefit of integrated fish farming or integrated aquaculture? It simply tells that artificial ecosystem is with no waste, efficient recycling of organic material between the enterprises, reduction in cost of production, either in case of fish and other enterprises, diversification of products for the farm family as well as for the market itself, increase in overall productivity, efficient utilization of the available resources, urban reduction in environmental pollution as the waste materials are being recycled and sustainable system. The one model is livestock fish farming. In this farming model, number of animals depends upon the amount of manure needed to fertilize the aquatic body. Quantity of the excreta per animal produced, which depend upon the species, quality of the feed supplied, and method of raising. This is the nutrient value of the animal excreta, where you can see that chicken, fishes, duck fishes, poultry fishes, as well as urine, cattle fishes, urine, goat fishes, and rabbit fishes. Goat fishes provide the highest amount of NP and K, that is 2.7, 1.7, and 2.9%. In poultry fish system, which is mainly reared or mainly done in Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Kerala, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, our northeastern states, Orissa, Tamil Nadu, UP, and West Bengal. Here, the poultry birds are being raised for meat as well as egg purpose, and they can be integrated with the fish culture to reduce the cost of fertilizer and feed in the fish culture. The chicken birds are being raised over or adjacent to the pond where the poultry excreta are recycled to fertilize the fish ponds. This method of raising the chicken over pond has advantage that it maximizes the use of space, saves the labor in transporting manures to the pond, and the poultry house becomes more hygienic in comparison to others. Thus, no significant difference is being observed on the chicken growth as well as egg line where they are raised over the ponds or on the land. While the embankment of pond could still be used for raising the vegetables. This is the fish culture where you are just seeing that this figure shows that the poultry are being raised on the over the pond, and for preparation of 1000 meters square area pond, we have to depend upon each and every component. Either you can say whatever, what type of a stocking of fish we are going to do and what should be the stocking capacity. It also depends upon the poultry birds being reared. If we are preparing the pond of 1,000 meter square area, first of all, we have to remove all the predatory and as well as weed fishes, and then we have to line the pond as at the rate of 25 kg lime per 1,000 meter square area of the pond. Next, that is the stocking. Stocking depends on uh, type of the fishes. Mostly, we are going through IMCs, that is Indian major carps. In this cattle are there who medical and various Chinese carps like silver carp, grass carp, or common carp. We are going to so 6,600 to 1,000 fingerlings are being required for 1,000 meters square area with a stocking rate of 40% surface feeders, which include catla as well as silver carp, 20% middle feeder, which includes rohu, 30% bottom feeder, which includes mrigal and common carp, and 10% column feeder, which includes grass carp. There is no need to provide the feed to the fish pond because the feed which is being spilled by chicken is directly fall into the fish pond and being utilized by the fish as feed material. There is no need of fertilization as the excreta of the poultry birds falling into the pond are providing good much amount of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium as well as organic matter, which is being utilized by the fish pond. Next is harvesting of fish could start from 6 to 7 months after stocking, and we can take the table size fishes from that. When one oxygen depletion, when water becomes deep green due to plankton blooms, oxygen in the water may get depleted and fish may die. In such cases, we have to put the mats or plastic sheet below the poultry house to catch the chicken excreta and suspend nutrient inputs for 1 to 3 weeks. If possible, we have to irrigate the pond with the fresh water. Raising of chicken in this rearing of chicks, first 14 days chicks needs to be reared separately in a brooder. After that, because they need a higher temperature of 28 to 30 degrees Celsius. After that, each chick during this period needs a space of 7.5 into 7.5 centimeter square area to maintain the required temperature. Surround the things in a bamboo fence and hang an electric bulb above them. A rice heater can also be used. For broilers, 30 to 50 broilers are sufficient for 1,000 meters square pond area, while 30 to 50 layers are also sufficient for 1,000 meters square pond area. In this is the broiler production as well as you can say this is the layer production. There are various breeds of the in which we mostly focus on dual purpose breeds like RIR or Colombian One Raj, Grand Prix, Croiler, as well as Sonali is one of the most important breed which is being utilized in India. Uh, Here we can say that 90,000 to 1 lakh eggs and above 1,500 kg of meat are being produced from layer from for 1 hectare area pond area of layer, while for broiler above 1,500 kg meat per batch and 5 to 6 kg 5 to 6 batches in a year we are going to produce. In case of fish, we are getting 3 to 4 tons of fish per hectare per year, and poultry compost we are getting for 25 to 30 tons of per hectare per year. When we go through the economics, we approximately for 1 hectare area, we get such this much amount of cost of production, that is approx 1,86,900 for 1 hectare area. But when we are calculating the gross and net return, we will get a net profit of 78,100 and a gross return of 2,65,000 for the first year. But next year onwards, this will the cost of production will reduce down and net return will automatically become high. Next one is the duck fish system. In this, uh, it is mostly practiced in West Bengal, Assam, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Odisha, Tripura, etc. Here, eggs are larger. The eggs of ducks are larger and low in cholesterol. Ducks are the living manuring machine. They are used for biological control of aquatic insects, snails, tadpoles, etc., as well as the which are the vector of the diseases. uh, we can take the breeds of the with for egg purpose. We can take a silent mate, Nageshwari, Indian runner, Khaki campaign, which can start laying egg when they are become 3 months old and continues up to 2 to 3 years. Means they can produce egg 300 egg per year. For meat purpose, we can choose the breeds like Muscovy, and Peking Testy, and they grow at a faster rate. And the adult duck average weight is 3.5, 3.5, 3.5 to 4 kg. Duck, one day old ducks are being reared, which weigh about 50 to 60 grams. In this, for good production potential, 14 to 16 hours of light is required, and house should be airy and but arrangement to prevent cold during winters should be made. This is a duck cum fish farming system, and this figure shows that duck are being reared for various uh, ducks are being reared in the pond itself, along with duck house made adjacent or above the pond. The construction of duck house. This is the feeding behavior of the house, where we have to feed average 3 kg feed to produce a dozen of egg, and for layer we have to feed 200 to 210 gram of food per day. When we will go for the production, about 4,000 to 6,000 eggs per year and 500 to 750 kg meat, as well as 3 to 4 tons of uh, per hectare of fish will be harvested. The economics for zero point 0.4 hectare area, it shows that the average cost of production of this system is 44,124. When we'll go for the economics, we'll get a gross return of 90,000 and as well as net return of 45,876 rupees in Indian currency. In peak cum fish system, 40 to 45 number of pigs would be ideal for fertilizing a pond area of 1 hectare. The varieties of pigs which can be chosen is Yorkshire, Middle White Yorkshire, Berkshire, Hampshire, and local Landes. One of the major breeds in Eastern India is T&D, which is also famous as Jharsu. You can take the floor requirement is 3 to 4 square meter area for pig having weight of 70 to 90 kg. They can take up take 1.5 kg of feed per day. Slaughter maturity size should be 60 to 70 kg, which they can attain between 5 to 6 months, and 6 to 12 piglets from each litter can be obtained. A full-grown pig provides about 500 to 600 kg of dung in a year. This pig dung is excellent manure for the fish pond, which increases the biological productivity as well as there is no need of supplementary food required for the fish. The waste of produced from 30 to 35 pigs is equivalent to 1 ton of ammonium sulfate. Management practice of a style that is the pig house. There are various things. First of all, we have to keep focus on that adequate space should be provided to the pig. There should be rough floor, proper drainage, and the house should be low cost. This figure shows the style of pigs over or adjacent to the pond area. Here we can obtain the production of pork that is 2,500 to 30,000 kg per batch and two batches in a year. Where in spite of that, we can obtain 3 to 4 tons of fish per hectare per year with 8 to 8,500 fingerlings stocked. When we go for the economics, in point 1 hectare area, the average cost of production is 39,934 rupees in Indian currency, and we can obtain a uh, gross return of INR 61,400 and a net return of INR 21,486 for the first year. And next year onwards, the cost of production will reduce as well as the net return will increase. Next one is that fish come cattle farming system. The cattle are being raised on pond dikes for milk and manure. The waste fodder of cattle will be applied as food for fish, and thus the cost of feed and fertilizer is being reduced. Various breeds are there which can be used for rearing the cattle. It includes, in case of indigenous breed, Red Sindhi, Sahiwal, Tharparkar, Haryana is there. While in case of foreign breeds, we can go for Jersey and Holstein Friesian. 5 to 6 cows are found suitable for 1 hectare of pond area. Healthy cow weighing 400, healthy cow could exceed 400 to 450 kg of cow dung uh, over a year and 3,500 to 4,000 liters of urine. And whereas requires 9 to 10 tons of grass in a year. The embankment of pond that can be used for production of the fodder crops, which will be utilized by these cattle. The cattle breeds, there are various breeds, milch breeds, Gir, Sahiwal, Red Sindhi, Rathi, Thar, Parker, dual purpose. They are very Nimadi, Dangi, Haryana, Ongol, Kangres, Mewati, and drought purpose. And others in case foreign breeds like Jersey, Holstein Friesians, Brown Swiss, and Sudhanandini, etc. Design consideration for house should be that direct sunlight should not fall into the shade, and that should be the shade should be on elevated area with good drainage facility, and sufficient green cover should be there around the shade. In this, the production is about 9,000 liters of milk per year and 3,000 to 4,000 kg of fish per hectare per year. This fish come cattle farming system is an excellent innovation for the use of organic waste, where use of cow and buffalo manure in the fish farming is also commonly prevailing practice. On an average, one cow or buffalo can excrete 12,000 kilogram of dung and 8,000 liters of urine in a year. And this Dung and urine are beneficial for filter feeding as well as omnivorous species. On an average, 3 to 4 cow or buffalo can provide sufficient amount of manure to fertilize 1 hectare of pond, and this system can give a net profit of 3 lakh 17,000 Indian rupees per year for 1 hectare land area. This is the economics where 3,83,000, that is the cost of production, including recurring and non-recurring, for 1 hectare area during the initial year of investment. And after that, we'll get a benefit and net profit of 3,17,000 with a gross income of 7 lakh per year. This fish cum goat farming system. It is India has the world's largest goat population, and about 1/4 of the world's goat population is residing in India. There are 13 well-known breeds of goat. These goats are also known as poor man's cow, and they are very cheaper than the cattle. The feed consumption ratio of is also much better in goats than that of the cattle, and they can be raised on climatic any type of the climatic condition, and they require 1/5 of the ration when compared with the cattle. Thus, they provide and they also provide a strong resistance against various kinds of diseases. One of the best thing is that the goat droppings is one of the best quality fertilizer, having highest amount of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potash, which I have mentioned earlier in the slide. 20 kg goat weight of goat discharge about 300 to 400 grams of excreta on daily basis, and about 50 to 60 goats are needed for 1 hectare area. Here we can there are various breeds in this. One breed, Black Bengal, is very famous in the eastern part of the India, which can give 3 to 4 kids per liter, as well as they can provide 750 to 900 kg of meat per year, in addition to 3.5 to 4 ton of fish per hectare per year. This is a breed of goat which is being used under system goat farming system. These are the photographs. Next one is the rabbit cum fish system. This integration is not common, but the analysis of rabbit manure indicate that it can be used directly as food for the fish. Advantage of rabbit as a potential source. Rabbit is a potential source of meat, and they can feed much higher levels of refuges than the pig and poultry. Rabbit meat is a dietitian's choice for health conscious meat consumers, and about 60 varieties of breeds of rabbits are being recognized throughout the globe. But when we ask for the domestication of rabbit, for meat type, Soviet Chilean Chila, Great Giant, White Giant, and New Zealand White is being preferred. For wool type, Russian Angora and German Angora is being preferred. There are various systems for culturing the rabbit. Cage system, it is semi-commercial or the rabbits can be reared on semi-commercial or commercial breed purpose. Hutch system is mainly used for breeding and maturity purpose, while floor system is used in general purpose. Constants, the major constants in adopting the livestock is that in various places Social acceptance is one of the biggest problems. If anyone is having poultry or pig, they are not uh, the people of that particular society. They just and second one is that technical skill, technical know-how. There is lack of technical know-how for raising the livestock among the farmers. And without the technical know-how, integrated farming system is not possible. Shortage of credit and working capital, as the most of the farmers are marginal and small, they have uh, shortage of the credit as well as working capital. And there is very much involvement of middlemen as well as marketing is one of the biggest problem. What should be the future development in this integrated farming system has been proved to be highly profitable, but the practice is very little, is at very little scale. So uh, training for rearing of the livestock to diversify the livestock-based farming system and enhance the production is much more required. Where, whereas gaps should also be filled between the extension workers and farmers. This farming will play an important role in natural development as well as the national economy. Thus, we can conclude that for addressing the food security, livelihood security, as well as natural resource conservation and environment protection, livestock-based farming system is one of the most important sustainable development through rational utilization of resources as well as addressing the socio-economic as well as environmental issue without hampering the economic growth. Where nothing is being wasted, the byproduct of one system become the input for the other. In spite of recycling of nutrients to enhance the production and productivity per unit area, per unit type, in addition to enhancing the livelihood of the farmer. Thus, we can say that one quote of the normal monologue is that civilization that is known today could not have evolved, nor it can survive without an adequate food supply. Thank you. Hello.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.